Maritime Odyssey Preschool, and I know I say this every time I come in front of you with a guest, but I am super excited about the guest that I have here today. I have the beautiful Rosie Navarro, who is our Director of Culture and Compliance. Now, the reason why I'm so excited about this is because, one, I know that most early childhood programs do not have a Director of Culture and Compliance. You can't find it anywhere because I made it up. But I'm equally excited because this is the one position that I had to try to find in my budget to create because of how critical it is to the entire preschool program. And I have to tell you, I don't have one regret, especially during COVID. And so Miss Rosie, who comes to us from the Dominican Republic, is here with us, and she's going to share a little bit about her position and how she has been impacted during COVID. So welcome, Miss Rosie.
Thank you, Miss Monisha.
How are you today?
I'm doing well. I'm having a good day.
Good. Miss Rosie, by the way, has a great day. She's fabulous. She's culture. So Miss Rosie, let's just dive right in. I mean, I want to start with, first and foremost, how have you been impacted by COVID? How has this pandemic impacted you?
I have to say that in the beginning it was a little bit of a panic because when beginning my role as the Director of Culture and Compliance, we started to implement Spirit Days, which were days that we would have at the end of every month where we would all come together as a community in the school, the staff and the students, and we all put on our Pride orange t-shirts, and we march into the assembly to ABC songs, and it was a sense of community, a sense of unity, of one. The Maritime Odyssey assemblies were a huge highlight in the beginning of me taking on this role, because it afforded us an opportunity to experience each other as a community, as one entity, and it was all celebratory. We celebrated birthdays, we celebrated accomplishments, we initiated a behavioral model that we entitled WIN, which is, everyone is wise, everyone's important, everyone is nice. The kids absorbed that, they enjoyed it. We ended it with a celebratory song, we did the Pledge of Allegiance. It was just a wonderful, union of like-minded and community people. It was wonderful. It was just a wonderful feeling. And then when COVID hit and we couldn't gather anymore, I'm going to be completely honest, it put a real damper on me. As you know, in the beginning I was just like, what am I going to do now? But here was the plus side. The plus side is that COVID coming in afforded me the creativity to come up with ways to continue to engage. So it kind of kicked me in the butt to step it up and come up with other ways outside the box, which is kind of my fuel. I enjoy creativity and doing that.
What did you do specifically? Talk about that, because I think folks need to hear that, because we still have people who may not have a culture person, but who are trying to find ways to specifically look at how to creatively bring culture back into the environment. What were some things that you did?
Well, when it initially kicked off, we started what we called the Odyssey Family Chat, which allowed us to just hear from our parents. In the beginning was, what can we do to help? What do you need? What are you guys finding challenges with? And with the help of the Odyssey Family Executive Center of South Norwalk, which we call the FEC, we were able to get resources to people about where to get food, where to get training materials, learning websites, because the kids were out of school and things like that. So that was the beginning of it. But then we were like, okay, we can't have every chat be about, wine. So we said, what can we do? How can we do this? And we started to put together events that were external, where people could safely social distance. For instance, we in September had a Hispanic Heritage Month event. One of our students has a parent who is musically talented, and she brought her band. We set up outside. It was important to us to have it be someone from within our Odyssey community to take part in it. She's brilliantly talented. We have videos on our Facebook page if you want to see. And it brought not only for us, anyone in the community, the people that are in the surrounding areas, even from the program next door, could come and participate. And then we had a vendor come and give us some empanadas so we can have some food. And then the FEC also set up information for census to help people who maybe are challenged because of language barriers or whatever fear they may have for filling out the census. And they also partook. It was a huge celebration. We
all done by Rosie, no help from anybody else. That's how good she is, you guys.
Thank you. Everything was then posted on Facebook. Social media has become a really big part of how we engage with our parents because, for instance, for the holidays, we had a mobile holiday float come and visit us.
We did have a float, didn't we, Rosie?
It was beautiful.
All the way from New York.
And it was a rainy day, but listen, we are determined to get things done. We had tents out there. We had everyone on hand. We had donations of gloves and hats and Christmas bags. It was a wonderful event, but because of social distancing, this is something that normally we would invite parents to partake with us so they could take their pictures, but we couldn't do that. So I came up with the idea to put it on Facebook Live so the parents could feel like they were experiencing it at the same time. The most views we ever got were from those live feeds because, which to me, I'm a very analytical person. To me, it means there's a need to continue to share with parents what they can't experience because we're separated. So it forced my creativity in many ways. And that was just one of them. And actually I'm finding more fulfillment because the parents are so grateful. They're so grateful, Miss Monisha. I don't know if you saw it, but I emailed you a slew. Whenever I get a message of parents just saying thank you. And that makes me feel good. You know, at heart, I'm a community servant.
You are. You know, you guys, I'm going to shift gears for a minute, but I want to say, because I know you can go on and on about the wonderful things we've been doing with parents, and I applaud you because it has not been easy. And to know that our families feel supported during this time, that speaks directly to what you've been doing, and I thank you for what you're doing. I want you to shift to how you have created and maintained a positive culture for teachers. Because we've had challenges with teachers going through a lot as well. What are some things that you've done during COVID for teachers during this time?
So we became aware of a lot of struggles that teachers were going through, and understanding that it's difficult with the worries that you have at home, with anything that may have happened with your family, to come to work and put your full life and your full focus into it. So I decided to start to do just like a raffle, to raffle off free lunches or whatever have you, to help lift their spirits. Because at the end of the day, in as much as people may not say it or express it, they want to be appreciated. And the work that we did here was so incredible. In the we were closed for 3 months, and then we were in full gear. Bunch of regulations, heavy training, all of that. It was stressful on the teachers. To show them the appreciation was to let them know, listen, this is hard. We know it's hard, but we are so grateful to you for putting your, whatever's happening at home aside, or putting your life at risk, or whatever it is that you're feeling when you come to work. We want to show you that we appreciate you. So we started this raffle thing.
All Miss Rosie.
And we have more things coming in the future. We buy them their birthday lunches because, once again, we can't have our assemblies where we used to celebrate birthdays and, put together a sunshine fund for birthdays that we couldn't really partake in. So I just try to lift their spirits in little ways. For Christmas, we had the 12 days of Christmas, and every day I had theme-related gifts for every single staff member, not just teachers, senior managers, everybody was partaking in the 12 days of Christmas. And at the end of the day, we had, at the end of the session before going to break, we had music, we had all the gifts laid out for the teachers. It has really helped me because I feel like they understand the gratitude that we have for them. And
I mean, it's huge. I mean, I think, Miss Rosie, even before the 12 days, you were putting things in mailboxes. You really have done so much that it has shifted the way people have come in. It's shifted their energy. And again, I can't thank you enough. Now, I really want to ask you two more questions.
Okay.
The first question has to do with what advice would you give a director or someone in a similar position about how to maintain a positive culture at their location?
Well, I think it's important that as a director, you model the behavior that you would like to see in the culture of your school. So if you're a director that has a door closed all the time or doesn't have time to speak to people, these are dire times. These are not, I have to talk to you about a raise. I have to talk to you about some time off that I need. This is, I'm falling apart. I have anxiety. This is a bigger beast than we've seen before. So I think if you model behavior from the top down where you're listening, you have to listen to what is being said. You have to understand what your teachers are going through. You have to, in order to run a successful ship, you have to know all of the parameters, everything that is happening. So you have to make yourself available. Making yourself available, not being negative, trying to even if there's something that has to be reprimanded or however, to do it in a way that it's equitable, that you're speaking to someone as a person, not as your subordinate.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's important that we look at, as directors, that we look at this as teamwork. We're doing this together. I can't do it by myself. I wouldn't be able to run the school alone. I need everybody. So I
can't run it alone.
Right. We need the help.
Right.
So that would be my best advice. You know that your employees are happier when they come to work in a place that they feel safe and they feel happy and they feel, appreciated and needed. You have to express that to your employees.
Awesome. And lastly, Ms. Rosie, why do you show up every day? Why do you continue to do what you do? COVID has been hard on you as well. What is that motivating factor for you to do this work?
I'm going to be honest with you. In the beginning, it was really, really tough.
Yeah.
Like everybody else, I was glued to the TV, to the news, and everything looked grim. When I started coming to work and I started to see that I wasn't alone, obviously, everybody's going through this, but also that other families were really suffering, like suffering beyond what I was suffering. And that I could really make a difference to help somebody get back on path, on the thinking path, on the motivation path. And I'm talking about employees, but also families, and primarily families. The families didn't know what to do. A lot of our families are from other countries. They don't even speak English. And I know the language barrier is a problem for a lot of people, so I try to make myself available to families, like I said, through the family chat, and even just reaching out to people, calling them when I hadn't heard, the child hasn't come to school, just to make sure. The difference that makes fulfills my soul. So me helping people understand that things are going to get better, and in the process, I've healed myself in knowing and believing things are getting better. We're doing the right things. We haven't gotten sick. That kind of thing, and reassuring the parents and having them come to me and say, Rosie, thank you so much. I don't know what I would do without that kind of feeling that, okay, I'm coming in because today someone is going to feel much better because I had the time to speak to them. That's why I do it.
Yeah.
That's why I do
Rosie, I thought I was done asking you questions, but can you talk a little bit about, because this has impacted me as well in the work that you have done, and I shared this on previous morning affirmations on our channel. You do work with Restorative Practices, and you did, an incredible work. I mentioned previously that not only does our leadership team work with our staff, we also work with each other and we develop each other. Talk a little bit about that work and how that work has helped you, in surviving and working through COVID.
Yes, Restorative Practices are a social justice science that they're implementing now nationwide. Like it's growing faster than even when I started training for it. I didn't even expect it. But people are adapting it because the idea of it is that at an early age, we can start to teach our students how to be social contributors. So they learn about fairness, about culture, about sharing, about equity. They learn all of that at an early age through this training. And then as they progress in their educational career, they follow that through, that learning that they learned at early childhood. And then by the time they get up, the statistics show, the research shows, the crime levels going down, the violence, graduation rate is going up. All of that because the stability of the way that we're taught to be socially aware and to be, fair and sharing. The idea of staff and students working together as partners, not so much I'm the teacher, the authority, and you're the student, but actually having them help and work with you and share with the responsibilities of the classrooms. For instance, if you have a circle, the teacher doesn't always have to be the one that leads the circle. Why don't you have a student lead the circle? You'd be impressed with what they share. Yeah. You'd be so impressed with what they know, how much they absorb. And it also makes you aware of who the child is. Yeah. Because he's so willing to share and to be open, because this is the environment you created. This is a safe place for you to be this person. So,
I mean, I'm just, I know everybody out there in the world who's watching this, they're going to hate me because they're going to want a Rosie. They're going to want a Rosie.
Or they're going to love you for giving the idea.
I am grateful to you. This work has not been easy for me at all in terms of trying to figure out how do we maintain what we're doing, but more importantly, how do we still make it through this time and maintain quality. And I think having you in your role of culture and compliance has really offered us stability. It has offered us guidance for the future. I thank you so much, Ms. Rosie.
Oh, it's
you
my pleasure.
Are absolutely amazing, and we are stronger because of you. So, you guys, I'm sure you'll hear from her in the future. We could be in here all day talking, but you know what? We're going to cut it here, and we hope you enjoyed it.